Presenting the CW Crew.
Hey everybody, Jon Foss, CW Twin Cities, hanging out with Jatin Setia, Executive Director of the Twin Cities Film Fest, and this is the 10th year.
Yeah, man, a decade.
How are things going?
Things are going really well. We're a couple weeks out at the moment, and it's just chugging along right now. It's all about marketing and promoting the 120 films that we have. It's going to be an epic year, to say the least.
You set the bar pretty high last year because 10 years in and you're already a kingmaker because you guys had Green Book kickoff last year, and then it won Best Picture.
Yep.
So what do you have in store this year?
Wow, the Kingmaker. I like that.
Yep.
I like that. I'm going to use that in my business cards now.
Yeah.
Some amazing award-winning films from across the world are going to be premiering. A lot of these are going to be nominated for Oscars for sure. One that I can name right off the bat is Jojo Rabbit. Jojo Rabbit just won the Toronto International Film Festival's Audience Award, which is what Green Book won last year. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a good sightline into what it's projected for it. And that's going to play at our opening night double feature almost. So Jojo Rabbit, and then our opening night film is Working Man with Talia Shire and Peter Garrity attending. Another Oscar contender is Waves with Sterling K. Brown from This Is Us, the show. That's getting a lot of buzz for his acting. Another great film that I think is going to get multiple nominations for actors as well as films is going to be Just Mercy with Jamie Foxx and Michael B. Jordan, a true story about a wrongful conviction. Honey Boy with Shia LaBeouf, where he plays his own father in the film, and you get to find out about growing up as a child actor and what he actually went through. And he plays his own dad in the movie, and Lucas Hedges is in the film as well. That's going to be a phenomenal film, and we have Alma Harrell, the director, who's going to be here as well for that one. So there's four, and I can probably name you two or three other ones. We have an Ed Norton film, which is Ed Norton's one of my favorite actors of all time. He wrote, directed, and stars in a film called Motherless Brooklyn as well.
So Honey Boy, that's based on Shia LaBeouf's life. Is it an actual true story, or is it more of like a loosely based story? How real is that?
Well, we don't know how real it is because we never lived Shia LaBeouf's life.
According to them.
According to them. But he wrote it, and it is about his father.
Gotcha.
So it is a biopic, and it's a narrative film, so it's not a documentary by any means. And, you believe that that's what he went through as a child actor. The abuse that he suffered from his father's interaction. It's a heart-wrenching film about how a child actor goes from a pure form of actor to obviously what it turns out to be. So that said, I believe it is a true story.
All right. And you kind of touched on this a little bit before, but who are some of the filmmakers and the stars that are going to be here?
Yeah, I'm super excited, man. Rocky, if you ever watched Rocky, Adrian.
Rocky 3 was my favorite movie
Yeah.
as a kid. Every time we went to the store to rent a movie, I was like, Rocky 3.
That's
My
right.
parents were like, we've seen that like 20 times.
Blockbuster.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Talia Shire, Adrian from Rocky will be here. Peter Garrity from The Wire, he's going to be here as well. Julia Roberts' brother, Eric Roberts, who, I don't know if you believe it or not, he's got over 500 acting credits in IMDb. So Eric Roberts will be here for a film called Inside the Rain. I mentioned Alma Harrell, the phenomenal director of Honey Boy. We have an up-and-coming actress coming as well. Her name is Zora Howard for a film. It's our closing night film called Premature, a drama about 4 friends and what they go through just in your normal day-to-day. And if you ever watch the show Weeds, we have Justin Kirk from Weeds. He played the uncle on the show as well.
Cool.
So,
and one thing that I'm super pumped for, and I'm sure everybody in Minnesota is the fact that you guys are having an anniversary for Purple Rain.
Yeah.
With the director.
With the director, which is incredible that Albert Magnoli, the director of Purple Rain, hasn't really done an interview in Minnesota or even a Q&A after the film because, of course, everybody wanted Prince at the time. So that said, Albert is coming in from New York, and we're super excited for it. And it's the 35th anniversary screening of Purple Rain, and 10-year anniversary screening, of course, 10 years for our Twin Cities Film Fest. And it's a free screening. We wanted to make sure it was very accessible for anybody and everybody. And that night is going to be Purple Night in our festival lounge, where we're going to jam out to 80s and Prince music. It's going to be a fun night. Wednesday, October 23rd.
Very cool. Is he a Minnesota guy? I mean, you said New York now, but is he from here? How did he get involved with that film? Do you know?
I don't. That's one of the questions that I'm going to ask him in post-film Q&A. But I believe he is from New York originally, and I think he got recruited to come and make the film here. And actually, I was just on a call with him earlier today, and he's one of the most gracious people ever. He was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe about your hospitality." We're actually giving him our North Star Award this year as well obviously for a film that is a legendary film and probably the most important film that came out of Minnesota forever.
Little known fact, Jim Burke's brother, Tom, who is our boss, is in that movie.
Tom's in the movie?
Yeah.
Should I get Tom to be do a post-film Q&A with me?
Walk the red carpet.
If you worked on that film and you're all invited and everybody can come on stage with me and we'll do a Q&A.
That's awesome.
Probably the entire audience worked on that particular film.
Yeah,
so.
he's in the First Avenue crowd. So like if you
I'm going to
pause
have
it,
to look.
you can find him in there.
Tom, I'm going to be looking out. I'm going to watch the film again, of course, but I'm going to be like, there's Tom right there.
It might be a little blurry as the camera pans, but he's in there technically.
Good to know.
Yeah,
Fun
definitely.
fact.
So what are your favorite movies?
Oh my goodness.
Have you watched all these movies?
I've watched.
That probably takes a lot of time.
So we had over 700 submissions, and
Okay.
we go to film festivals across the country to curate content as well. Then I, of course, work with the studios. So that said, no, I've not watched over 1,000 films. We have an amazing programming team that does that. At the end of the day, when the final decisions are coming down the pipeline, I'm involved in the decision-making process. And by the start of the festival, I would have watched every single film.
Wow,
So I'm
that's crazy.
almost there. I reserved the last few days for all the short films. I love short films, and I want to have those be top of mind. So,
Is your wife like, hey, honey, what are we doing for the date tonight? And you're like, watching another movie.
my wife doesn't see me leading up to the festival, so sorry, honey.
You're just watching by yourself.
I am in
Probably
the,
working
I'm
while
working
you
while I have
making phone calls.
two screens on, watching two different movies at the same time that have been selected.
Okay.
One of my favorites this year is actually going to be a film called A Perfect 14, and as part of our Her series, we have over 65% of all of our films this year, 120 films, are either directed or produced by women. And we have our Her series, which focuses on women-led films, films about women, for women, and by women. So Perfect 14 talks about the fashion industry and plus-size models trying to reshape the beauty standards. And the director is going to be here. It's going to be a phenomenal evening for that.
Cool. And this is kind of along the same lines, but there's so many movies, and as you mentioned before the interview, some of the studio movies, people know about those. People know about the Minnesota movies, but what are some of the diamonds in the rough? There's so many great movies here. Some of the movies that maybe people haven't heard about that they should check out.
If you just want a fun film documentary, I love documentaries, about marriage, there's a film called Truth About Marriage. And it's a fun little take on what marriage means to people who are married, people who are divorced, people who are single, looking to get married, counselors, marriage counselors,
Is this a comedy?
historians. There's absolutely some funny moments in
Okay.
it. It's very much of an analytical. So based on the history, this percentage of marriages fall apart or stay together, or the reasons why couples are staying together, and the different types of marriages there are as well. I think it's going to be a really fun documentary called Truth About Marriage that we'll be showing. So that's one that I think people will just enjoy and have a great time.
My marriage is perfect, so.
Of course it is. So is mine.
Yeah. So, I mean, I probably won't get a lot of the comedy and the humor part of it, but for others, right?
You don't have humor in your marriage?
I'm just saying this for the, in case this interview leaks out there,
Right.
My wife sees it.
Yeah.
So, okay, Twin Cities Film Fest is not just in October. This is something, you guys are doing this year round.
Yep.
What are some of the other events that you guys have that people should stay tuned for?
Yeah, so we are a year-round organization, like you mentioned. We have events every single month leading into the festival and post-festival as well. We put a lot of effort and focus on Minnesota content throughout the year. So if you're looking for amazing Minnesota films, you should check out our year-round programming. We're also now launching into production services. So we're essentially helping nonprofits, small businesses, mid-sized companies make videos. And what we essentially do is we play the matchmaker. You come with a budget, local community member, local community organization, local community business. You come to us saying, hey, we have X amount of dollars to make a little project for Facebook or social media or commercials, but we don't have the big giant bucks to go to big giant agencies. We'll make that happen for you. We'll connect you with amazing filmmakers in town that'll make you an amazing product. So that's, we launched that this year as well, so now we're helping all the community members there. We're also focused on education as well throughout the year, so we have a youth program. So if you're interested, if you have teens or kids that are interested in making content, we have educational programming for them. We work with our colleges throughout the year to give internship opportunities to budding filmmakers. We have our Actor Expo, where we, in April every single year, where 300 actors from across the cities come and kind of learn about how to get involved or how to continue to stay involved, and that's a great educational opportunity there as well. So trust me, busy all year long, but the next 11 days are going to be the most powerful. It's kind of one of those crown jewels that we have everything leads up to these 11 days.
Definitely. And we kind of talked about this in the beginning in the interview briefly, but last year to have Jim, a local guy, Jim Burke, have him here for opening night to show his film, and then to have it go and be to win Best Picture, and he's the guy going up on stage accepting the trophy, and then he comes back for the gala this year, and you guys host him for that. What was that whole experience like? Was that kind of like just a mind-blowing experience for somebody 10 years into this to have come to that peak?
To say the least. Talk about coming full circle. Talk about exceeding your expectations from all capacity. Did I expect that eventually an Oscar contending film would play at our festival? Sure. Did I expect that we would have talent such as Jim Burke stop by? Sure. Did I expect that talent to perhaps come by and be so gracious as Jim has been, and he just accepted to be part of our advisory board as well?
Wow, that's cool.
Maybe. But to do it at this fast rate was nothing that was ever imagined. We just wanted to do simple things really well and put on a very organized professional festival, and now we're being considered one of the most influential festivals in the region. So that said, I have to give all the credit to all my hardworking staff, my volunteers, and my board for sticking with it on the early years and kind of believing in the vision, and then of course seeing it come through full fruition. It's just been an awe-inspiring experience and life-changing experience for me personally.
And how is the Twin Cities Film Fest recognized around the country and the world now that you've had so much success like that? What do people think? Is it becoming kind of an influential film festival throughout the country? It is,
and it's all because of the content that we're showcasing, the care that we take of our filmmakers, our content creators, our rock stars. What we do from the minute that they step off the plane to when they leave. Our hosts are amazing, our staff is amazing, our volunteers are amazing. Those little things go a long way, those tiny interactions go a long way, and filmmakers then start to spread the word to their peers. And those filmmakers then start to submit their films. And then you get films like Green Book to show at our festival, or Moonlight a couple of years ago, which of course won the Oscar that year, or films like we have now. That adds to the credibility on what we have created here, and that just piles on top of each other as far as reputation goes. And then of course we end up getting, I sit here with you to talk about this over and over again. So more and more people know about this, and that adds to how influential we truly are.
And for other people that have passions that may not be exactly the same as yours, you've said before that when you left your corporate job and now you've been doing this for 10 years, that you kind of feel like you're retired because you're just doing your passion, living your passion every day. What advice would you give to other people to maybe be able to experience that in their life?
Surround yourself with good people. Surround yourself with individuals that also believe in your vision, mission, and work hard. Honestly, there isn't a day that I don't work, right? So when I say retired, it's more mentally retired. I don't go to a corporate job. I go to a specific place, whether back in the day it used to be coffee shops or my garage or my basement, to just do work. But I was working. I work harder now than I've ever had before, but I don't work. I work towards an end goal of my passion. So if you have a dream, the only thing that I would say is stick with it. And the dream is not going to come full fruition as you think it's going to. It's going to take some time, may take some time, may not. Your dream may just come true, in an instant. But you also have to realize that it may take some paths that you haven't really thought about, and you just have to go with it. You have to trust your gut. And the one thing that I would say is no regrets. Take a shot. Doesn't work out, it's okay. At least you took a shot. But guess what? It's going to work out. It's just going to take a different form.
All right. Well said. Jatin Setia, thank you so much.
Thank
and
you.
Twin Cities, make sure you get your tickets for the 10th annual Twin Cities Film Fest at twincitiesfilmfest.org.
The CW crew on the CW Twin Cities, DJ Bonix, Alexa Score, and Jon Foss. Like, follow, subscribe to, and love the CW crew.